I appreciate it.
We are live. I'm ready to go whenever you're ready.
And go ahead and start.
Yep.
Okay, this is the upward map review. Saves us all time for having to do it. You can watch it in our own time. So anyway, I'll start off with offense, and then we'll go over to defense. So at the spawn, as we're waiting for the doors to open, our heavy, you're going to sit out here, and you are going to watch, as usual, to where the demo places the trap, you're going to call it. If he puts it on the trail, then you call it in the trail. If he puts it around the right exit spawn there or around the cart in the main, just go ahead and let us know where it's at. If they have it in the trail, which I'd say about 70% of the time it's there or on that side or around those stairs, our combo is going to kind of push and come through here. And what we'll do is our medic will be back here, and he may hold off a bit till we make our first push, our first wave. After some of us have died, we'll see how good we do. If we get several of them, then our med may come out right away. If not, and say 3 of us go down or so, then we'll wait for our second series. We spawn much faster on offense than we do on defense. And then we'll go ahead and do a second push. Once the trap is deaded, then somebody called they deaded, whatever, pyro, you can come and air blast here if you're working independently, or a scout, you can do the shoddy type thing if you're not on the cart. As priority, we're going to have our scout and our NG on the cart. NG will just be building minis along the way. If our scout, you can take off and chase down spies or other players that are hurt, as long as we have the engine in the cart. That cart needs to keep moving unless it's obvious you're going to die and get into a fur ball. Like if they have a lot of defense here, you wouldn't want to push it past around here until we start taking that area there. Okay, so engineers can build minis along the way and keep on the cart as primary too. And scout, you chase, but then if our NG goes down, then you're primary in the cart until he returns. And then both of you normally should be on the cart. The other thing too is just keep shooting, and basically you can spam with your scatter gun. As we come out of spawn, be careful. Sometimes spies love to hide back in here. So our pyro, you can do a quick check right through in there just to make sure it's free and void of spies. As we come out, you'll see a lot of times you'll see their sniper right up here on the playground. So just call him out once we see where he's at. Sometimes over here, but usually around the playground. He could be low too, down around here. And what we can do as soon as the spawn door opens, if our sniper is going to counter snipe our medic while he's waiting, he buffs us all, and he can run back here, hit the sniper, and the sniper, you can be a little bit more aggressive and hopefully take their sniper down that way. Okay, so if there is not a trap on the trail, then we'll probably come out this way, the combo being, and our flank always goes opposite to wherever the combo is. In this case, it's just our soldier, and our spy and sniper work pretty autonomously. So what we'll do, combos, we'll kind of come around here, we'll build up right around here, hiding in this little cubby area right here, and then we'll try to orchestrate a gun zap with our spy, or our scout can do a bonk. And then on offense, our soldier needs to use the direct hit, so he's going to be a sentry killing machine, and I will be putting spam there as demo as well. And let's see what classes I didn't talk about. And then medic, you're just going to go left or right, whichever way once it's safe to do so, and sniper goes down, or we call you out. And then pyro, you're going to stick around the combo ideally. If the spy is not a problem, then you can have more autonomy and do flank type stuff and work a little more free. But if the spy is a problem, then you probably get tethered back to the combo, basically. And our soldier, you're going to be instrumental in getting their gun down, spamming, and jumping their med for forces, the usual kind of thing. Okay, so once we come in here, a lot of times we'll work from over in this angle here and try to get them out. And they should retreat back up to the hill, their combo, and their soldier and scout may go ahead and take their tunnel, is what flank does. So we'll keep pushing the cart here. It could be we need a spy cap, might be close, but getting the cap is really important because it keeps them back further in spawn. And also we just need to look, see who's doing the most damage to our team so we can focus them. And up here's the trail. So you don't see too many people on defense up there, but on offense, it's kind of a nice place to go. So as soon as we cap, I'd like our combo to push up the hill and then have our scout and NG keep the cart going through there. And if they need help, then call the soldier in to help you clear underneath here. Because sometimes you'll see somewhat of a presence right up in this little bridge here as you're pushing the cart. Watch for traps around here. I like putting them there as demo. And once we get up into the hill, then we become spam machines. A lot of times I'll hide behind the big rock. I'll have a dispenser sentry behind a little rock, or they'll have the sentry right here for a forward hold. So we just have to spam the heck out of them and then start working our way that way. As we're coming in, be careful of spies flanking through the tunnel flank right through here. And then also spies love to hide up and through here. So pyro, you probably, as we're coming to hill, do a lot of puffs around here to spy check as we're coming up through here. Okay, so this is the apartment platform. Sometimes as demo, I will come up here solo, and sometimes I can get the gun down. I put stickies down through here. If we have an Uber, maybe it's nice to drop the heavy down. You guys get right in their face, do a lot of damage. I'll sit back here and spam. Be careful, snipers, right about back around here. And it's not too uncommon to see that. And then spies making their move from behind. A lot of spam gets generated on the hill too. But if we do enough spam, we can usually out spam them. Put a lot of spam right through there, and then that kind of gets them out where they can spam to us. And if they're on the hill here, then we have to put a lot of spam around the rocks, and our spy can probably come in here and do some damage as well. Okay, so and then our scout NG here in the cart, and then we start pushing to the exit of the tunnel. If we get our heavy down in here, and me as demo and do a lot of damage, pyro, and kind of push them back, then once we cap, then this will open and we'll have access. So what works good is try to bum rush and get in here real fast with our combo, and because a lot of times they'll build guns, almost always they'll build guns right here. If we can beat them to the draw there, then that really gives us a lot of opportunity to work with in time. So hopefully we can just move real fast and we don't lose too many in the fight. If not, we have to regroup here. Usually we have a dispenser here. We build, wait till we have, then we push in, go for their gun, and then start working our way in. When they spawn, they should be dropping down out of here. I see a lot of people that don't come and drop down this way when they spawn, so we just always keep that in mind. That's the fast way to get down here. Their heavy should be in the heavy platform right here, and so what we'll have to do is force him out as we're coming in. So soldier and myself, we can put a lot of spam right here. Just watch for spies. Spies make a lot of plays right in this area here, because usually you're distracted and you have your back to the spy there. So as our scout and our NG push the cart and they come up the roller coaster here, it's important that we try to hold them at bay here while they keep moving the cart. So all important, that cart keeps moving. If both our NG and scout goes down, any class can push that cart, just keep it moving because it's all time-based. A lot of teams are really good at DM. You'll see they even beat other teams in DM, but they lose the match or the round because no one's on the cart. So let's not do that. Cart's all important. Just keep it going. Spy cap it if necessary. Keep them back further and further with spawns. This is upper here, so maybe our soldier can get up there. That's a pretty powerful spot to work. Their demo likes, usually around here, this is usually where I play as demo too. So we need just to keep working them and forcing them back. If we have to build and come in with an Uber, we can try to build our medic, and so we get a little bit quicker. We have to be aware of advantages, and so it'll be up to our medic to notify us of what the advantages are.
You cut out.
Okay, at what point?
You cut out at advantages.
Okay, so our medic needs to watch for an advantage. And thank you, Sam. If we have equal advantages, then we need to try to force with our soldier. So our soldier forcing, and once they pop, then everybody just get back, play super passive and defensive, and then we can go back into them with the maneuver and then take them down that way. Either that or we get numbers, but we need some sort of advantage to push. And it could be that we have to delay on keeping on the cart because you're going to die until we're ready to make our move. But this is far enough away where we might be okay. Pyros love to sit around here and air blast people off. If we have our gun here, or they have their gun here, they air blast, the gun picks you up, and you just go flying right off that cliff. So that can be a very effective thing. Pyro doesn't even need to kill, just shoot at their feet, pops them up in the air, gun takes over, and off they go for a little bit of a ride to the death zone. Okay, so as we push into third, and we get down their gun ideally, and watch for peace spawners coming through the hall right here. Once we get this point here, then now this spawn here is going to close, and they can't come through that anymore. Then our goal is to take the tiles. So we're going to come up this way, the combo, and our flank, like our soldier, you can kind of go down below, but we may need them to come up above eventually to help us with the sentry gun and spam it with this direct hit. I'm calling this here demo tiles. People just generally call it tiles. I'd like to separate it because it's a little unclear where in tiles. I'm calling this demo tiles because this is where I will hold as demo, and I'm calling this here heavy tiles because this is where our heavy will hold right here. And our medical will be back a little bit around here. And that's a drop down right there, by the way. And I'm going to call this here heaven, all right behind the crates here. So this will all be heaven. And again, heavy tiles and demo tiles. So what we'll need to do is, again, look for an advantage, try to get a force on them. Soldier, you can jump up and come behind. That's pretty powerful. Assuming you can get in here, you can come from under and then work your way up here and jump. If you jump, too, go right for that pack. That's a handy little thing. As demo, I can put stickies up here. They may not see it, and then I can dead and maybe get a med pick or a heavy or something like that. But I have to put several up there, and or rollers, or chase by rollers. Usually I'll do stickies and then rollers in that particular spot. Okay, and our pyro, on defense, he'll be up here too with the heavy, by the way, and he'll be air blasting and burning kind of thing. Usually it's demo I can hold that, but if they bum rush it, then I get overwhelmed, and I'll just call it. Then our heavy and our medic can. Okay, and then all of this is underneath. So our soldier can play it through here on offense, pushing around, clearing it, killing who he needs to. Generally, the sentry gun is up here, so we're going to call that the sentry platform. And up here, I'm going to call the sentry spot 2. People don't know what to call it, but that's what we're going to do, sentry spot 2. Usually you don't see it anywhere else. Sometimes I've seen it up in the tiles, so if you see it there, just call it. Just say, hey, it's in the heavy tiles, etc. So scout and NG on the cart, and we'll wait till we have a good opportune moment. I would like the soldier to really work the gun with a direct hit from up in these areas here. Maybe you can rotate there wherever the gun can't reach out to you. And I'll peek periodically and see if I can get it. We just have to be careful of the sniper sight line, which usually the sniper is back here. It's pretty common, or you'll see him up in heaven too. Sometimes you'll see him down around here and up here, but it's not really uncommon to see him down there, and that's a pretty lethal spot. So we just have to be careful of that sight line until he's dead. If he's a problem, then maybe our spy could focus him. So am I cutting out, or I'm okay, Sam?
You're okay. I'll let you know when you cut out.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so once we get some numbers, the gun goes down, then I'll probably sit back as a demo, put sticks around the cart as you guys are pushing it, and try to kill who I can that tries to stop you guys from capping. So if you guys crouch around here, even if they have a sentry, like our spy, sometimes you can still push the cart right down into the pit as you're ducking behind it if they have no one around. If I'm able to get stickies around it, somebody's going to try to stop you, boom, kill them with stickies, and you still go on with the cart. So that strat can work. Little ammo pack there, by the way. A lot of times you'll see offensive teams will push coming up through here through the stairs to clear the tiles and try to take advantage of the tiles. Usually, not always, but usually who gets the tiles has an advantage for the either the defense or the offense in the cart at last. So it's kind of an important spot to try to get if we can. And sometimes you see the tide turns in the tiles too. It goes back and forth, back and forth. So we just have to try to maintain it. If you get a heavy right here watching the stairs and you get a demo right here, it's a pretty powerful thing to try to overcome. So in offense, we can have our work cut out for us. Maybe we could orchestrate, have the soldier jump up through there, and I can spam to the window at the same time, assuming the gun's down to try to clear it. Okay, and then if we go under, then again, that's usually a scout if you're not on the cart, as long as the engine's on the cart, or if it's too lethal to be on the cart, then scout could be working around the bottom, helping keep that clear. And not only down there, but along the side here, there's this nice big pack in that area too. Sometimes just spies love coming up and wrapping. And in offense, you'll usually have a nest built up around here. You'll have a dispenser and a teleporter exit. And the NG is good. I know your primary thing is a cart, but having level threes is really important too. So that's appreciated. I see some NGs in offense will put little minis right up here too. It's a pretty decent spot. It's kind of hard to hit because it's out and above and not up against walls. Um, okay, so I think that's about it for offense. Anything that you can think of, Sam, that I didn't cover?
No, not really. Usually I like to try to go around tracks and go for the, around in the spawn room at first. The dodge a sniper silently, but if our sniper still needs help with the other sniper, then yeah. Otherwise, if the sniper's down, usually I just come out where you guys come out, typically.
Okay. And our sniper, he should know that he's seasoned, so he should know the good sniper spots and how to counter him. So there might be times you want to buff him as he's going for a sniper to sniper kill if you're around.
I
If
always
you're up
buff
in,
him at the start of the round so he can, have that advantage. Same on
but I mean, if
defense.
you're like here and he's like peeking over here, then you can buff him while he's,
Assuming I'm not pushing tiles, then yes.
yeah, assuming you're not in tiles. You might hope, ideally, we're holding tiles. But if we're not and we're around here, because before our push, then that would be a good time where he could counter snipe and ideally pick off their sniper. Okay, let's see. In heavy, usually hangs around this corner before our push, and then goes that way, and then eventually, ideally, we get up into here with our combo. So I think in this spy, you're going to do spy stuff, go for the med, try to zap the gun, and then stab the engine. That's ideal. If you can do that, that'd be great. Stab the engine, zap the gun, boom, and then the gun goes down. That's huge on that particular place. Yeah, and a lot of times engines put dispensers like here, so you can't get through easily. So you may have to just kind of finagle and see what you can do and work it. Or we can coordinate. So if the engine's back here, taking care of the dispenser while you zap it, and then we can start spamming the gun and do a double whammy on them. Okay, I think that covers it for offense. Anything else you can think of, Sam?
Nope.
Okay, defense. So defense is different because the scout is not, and the engineer are not going to be dedicated to the pushing the cart. So it's a different animal. So our flank, we have soldier and our scout. And soldier, you do not need to run the direct hit now. You can go with standard. And our scout, you're going to be the picking machine. So you'll be jumping all around here and watching out for spies. Spies love to come up here. And so you guys will be on this side. I'm going to start off as demo on this side. And I'm probably going to put a trap in the rocks here. It's kind of a typical thing, but it seems to work pretty well. As soon as I det, then I'm going to jump down and go over to my standard combo side. Heavy, you're going to be here. You're going to be anti-aircraft and watching for jumpers this whole map, but especially here it's pretty important because you'll see soldiers going for the forests and sometimes demos, and they come around the side here too, around the flank here. So just do all the damage you can, and that would be kind of our scout to come and finish them off if they do jump, and scout your anti-aircraft too along with our heavies. So just shoot up as they're doing their jump and take all the health you can so they're really low, and it makes an easy pick once they come down, or maybe they crater ideally. Watch for spies around here too if you're on flank. Spies love to work this side. Our pyro should be watching the gun, ideally with homewrecker, and our gun should be on the hill, level 3, and we need to die for the gun, for the NG, so he can build the telly level 3, and you can get the gun up level 3 and the dispenser So you classes know who you are. Pyro, heavy, uh, scout, etc. Um, and sniper. Just all die for the NG soldier, die for the NG, and then come back and set up. Our sniper might be up here, wherever our sniper thinks he sees him. So he can make that choice. Sometimes you see him up here on the top of the hill. I would like to try to hard hold. I know not everybody agrees with that, but we have to get a feel for the team we're playing. If the team we're playing is not super strong, it's been very effective, and even we're eventually going to lose it. But the beauty is we get a lot of time, and again, you win from time on these maps. So even if we hard hold and we lose it and we don't set up the best, if we can get a really good time on it, then it still pays off in dividends. So I would like us to try to hard hold, but if the team is obviously pretty strong, then our NG is going to pull his gun and get out of dodge. So that's kind of the plan. Going through the classes, okay, it's Scout, NG we talked about. For me, I'm going to spam a lot, and I'll spam over the platform and the stairs. So we'll say they're on the trail. Let's call this the cubby area there in the trail. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll work my way over a little bit here to get a better angle on working the cubbies. And then I'll spam around here. I'll try to keep around our dispenser giving me health, and then our medic giving me health. Heavy, you should be kind of around here watching. Sometimes if we fall back a little bit, they get in here, and that can catch you off guard. So just beware of that little cubby right in there, and call it. They're by the pack cubby. Like a heavy hides in there, or a pyro or something, and they can be pretty devastating because they edge you. They'll come out and just edge you like this with flames or bullets or whatever, and that can be a showstopper. Another sniper could be up on the platform. Also, he may not see anybody in the cubby, so just be aware of that little spot. I'll put stickies around here if the carts start coming around here to try to hold it. But I'd like to do as hard of a hold as we reasonably can. And even if I can get 2 or 3 or 4 of them, I'll defend it to the death sometimes, or I'll get caught out sometimes too doing that. It's just trying to buy all the time we can. Okay, so I think I covered all the classes there. Spy, you're going to do spy stuff and come up behind people in the cart, go for med picks, that sort of thing, or whoever their carry player is. Then down below, we'll have our scout and our soldier watching through in here. Let us know if you both are down, then our flank is down, and call it whoever goes down last. Ideally, we'll have time to hard hold and put our sentry up here. And if that's true, then we want everybody else kind of line abreast here and just spamming the heck out of the hill here and over here, trying to hold it, and ideally our flank holds down below. If they all rotate and go underneath in the tunnel, then they call it. Be careful of spies coming up through here, or scouts, and then coming up behind us. That certainly has been detrimental in the past. So just keep your head in a swivel and keep peeking to the right there. And our pyro, as he's coming up the hill again, you got spy spot up through here. So just spy checking as you're coming in here with your flamethrower, and make sure that it's clear so they don't come up and get us behind. Okay, so yeah, that's on our egress, by the way. So okay, then once we start losing this and it gets hairy, or hopefully our engine can get the gun out and bring it down and then put it in the platform. Nice level 3 dispenser usually here. A lot of times they're going to do what we're going to do. They'll drop out of apartment window, or they'll put little minis up there in the corner. So just be sure to call they're an apartment window or an apartment, or they're all by the platform. And what we need to do, the game is to try to get them to use first and us second, and that way we have a better Uber. And our pyro ideally can air blast them back and hold them at bay. So if we're going to take the Ubers defensively, I'd like to have our medic try to focus on our pyro and just air blast, air blast, air blast. If we can thwart their Uber, then we just buy more time. That's a good thing on defense. As we are losing this point and it gets too hairy, if our NG can grab the gun, usually you can't hear, usually it gets destroyed, but if he gets it out in time, then we're going to set up, and he should put his gun right here. Heavy, you're going to be in the platform here. Demo, you're going to be right here. Medic, you're going to be back about here with the pyro, and the pyro will be, air blasting, checking for spies. We could put a dispenser here. You see a lot of NGs do that. Nice level 3. Put it up a little close, and that way, pyro, if they are Ubering in or somebody gets too close, you hit them in the feet, and the gun can pick up and carry them off into oblivion. So that works quite well. Our snipers, you see them like right along here, or up around here if they haven't progressed that far yet. So if our heavy's holding here, I'm here, and the sniper should be working somewhere around here. And I'll be putting a lot of spam down around here, and I'll rotate and then hit the cart. And then Sam, just watch with arrows for myself and the heavy to give us quick heals if you could. And then they're going to push the cart up and keep it coming. And I'll put a lot of spam on there. Maybe our spy can go for some picks along the cart as they're coming up there. And I might put stickies there, buying time. So just have to see how aggressive they are at pushing the cart. Spies and soldiers and scouts love to come up through the shack and flank us like that. So they might try to zap the gun, come up behind the med, come up behind the NG, at the NG and zap the gun, that kind of stuff. So watch this shack very carefully here. I don't know. I've never thought about it. About building a dispenser here, but that's probably too easy to take down. And then we lose getting the heals too, and we don't all want to be grouped up around here. But yeah, just keep your eyes open for anything coming there. You might even spy check. Heavy, if you're by the dispenser, you want to just keep firing the whole time. It just doesn't matter. You're not going to run out of any ammo when you get the full ammo as you come off the dispenser. So just always fire. Just hold it down, and no harm, no foul. And then medic, if they Uber in, just fall back a little bit, and then ideally we have an Uber, and then we just re-push back into them with our Uber and take the pyro. And then while we spam, their Uber fades, we kill some of them on the egress, and hopefully it works out that way. And our soldier, you're just going to be a spam machine, shooting rockets right into there, shooting rockets at the cart if you see people by the cart to get them off the cart, because that buys us time once again. If they have an advantage, then you may be tasked to go ahead and jump and force their medic. And then our heavy, you need to be an expert at knowing when to back off and get heals. So you just want to take enough punishment to where you can fall back. Little micro pack there, but usually Sam with arrows. Just say arrow heavy, and then you can re-engage and get back in position. But don't wait to the bitter end to run. Just know your limitations and when to get out of dodge. I try to do that with demo too. I know we all pay the price sometimes, but yeah. So let's do that. Scout, you're going to be instrumental on the roller coaster area here, and helping the soldier, working with him a little bit more. Okay, so once they get this point, then it's time to retreat into the tiles. So we're all going to go up. Not all, but the combo is going to go up here. I will hold this down. If I get overwhelmed, I'll call it. I'll try to be back a little bit here. And our pyro, heavy, and medic are all going to be up here. Again, watch for soldiers jumping up through here. Watch for demos spamming up through there. So that's the drop down. And that's something that we should do too, is take advantage of that. Heavy, you can just fire like crazy here. If they have a pyro action there, or if they Uber in and just Uber a pyro, and you can cock block them and just air blast them back. And ideally, you don't die. Even if they don't die, we've thwarted their Uber. Now they have to sit there and keep rebuilding it. And it's a win-win. You buy time. And our sniper, you know the good spots, so just take advantage of that. If you get real low, you could fall out to here and ask our medic for an arrow sniper, and just call for medic. And then once you get the arrow, just re-engage. You can go right back. A little pack here too, but that's getting kind of close if they're starting to push on through this way. Underneath, there's usually a little mini war going on, so our scout could be checking through here, and our soldier periodically if it works out for timing. And spy, you're going to be targeting their med, and if you can get to them, if their pyro is really intense, then you start going for flank classes, etc., or NGs. Okay, NG's not as important on offense though, because he's just a cart pusher. So, although keeping him off the cart, if he's the only one, then we buy time if you get him too. So, kind of have to make decisions on the fly. our pyro, you can sometimes air blast people into the pit, so that's kind of a nice thing. Or if some mirrors in the cart, you can drop down and air blast them, and into the pit they go. So keep that in mind too as well. That can be powerful in this particular map. Okay, let's see here. Sentry, I'm guessing that we'll probably build it up here, level 3. Sometimes you see dispenser right here to keep the spy at bay because he has to zap it before he can get through. So that's something to consider. But he's experienced; he knows where to put the gun. And eyes demo. If we lose tiles, then I'll probably start spamming from around here and put sticks in the cart. I kind of like working around here with stickies, so I just got to watch them coming under here and flanking us. Okay, what am I forgetting here, Sam?
Nothing that I can think of.
Okay, and I know this map. We've all played it a million times, and we're pretty good at it. So upward, classic. So and also, please review all the callouts. I made a nice detailed callout diagrams that are also posted in the Strats channel. So if you could put a thumbs up once you're done watching this review, and also looking at all the diagrams, getting familiar with all the callouts, it would be appreciated. And that way, everybody can do this in their own time. So I think that's all we have. Sam, thank you very much, and appreciate you guys watching, and good luck. Let's get them.
Actually, I have one more thing I want to say.
Yep.
So if you want to meet me at first...
I'll just spec you.
Oh, okay. So
I got
typically
you.
when I'm playing medic, our dispensers around this corner, so I'll just sit in this corner and heal anyone that needs healing. And this does two things. That frees our power up, then not have to look for spies as frequently, and he can stay closer to the engineer then, which puts more pressure on the spy if he's trying to get a gun zap. And or he could help the flank, because I know our pyro's pretty aggressive and likes to help our flank. At least the last few times I've noticed that he usually is up and around back here, which is pretty good. So it just leaves our engineer to have to watch for spies around this area. Usually they're going to come from out behind here, behind this rock here. You know, sometimes they'll come out from the mine down there. But yeah, I usually just stay in that corner and I won't move too much from it. You won't see me come out here too much unless I know a lot of them, a good portion of them is down, or if you guys need help. But generally, I'm going to come up for a split second, heal you guys, and then come back and stick my back in this corner so I can't get backstabbed whatsoever. And I can also keep my eyes out on the engineer stuff.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
That's all I just wanted to say.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good point on defense. So here you have it. Add that to the defense.
Yeah, because once again, if I'm sitting here, there's only two ways you can really come. Either from playground or near the rails here, if they come around this corner, which usually when they surprise me, they come around this corner here and they get me, but if our team's watching this area here, then that should be really hard for them to do that. Behind, there's a lot of time that I can see them, and plus, usually if anyone's watching the flank, I'll get good warning. But yeah.
Okay. That sounds good. And one thing too is being very careful with sniper sidelines. And you have to kind of gauge how good the sniper is. Sometimes they're not much of a problem. You can get away with a lot of encroachments into the sniper sightlines. And other times, if you just peek, you're dead. So we have to get a feel for their sniper and also be aware when he is down to what we can get away with. For me, I try to spam over the stairs after I've deaded my trap. And stay kind of out of view of where the sniper would be. And sometimes they surprise you. They get up on the roof over there, and they get a better angle on you. So you just got to be aware. And it's really important that everybody call out where the sniper is in this map, too.
So if I know he's
like... sniper map.
If I know he's like looking out behind the cart there from the opening, I can be a little bit more risky with my positioning. But generally, yeah, I'm going to probably at most come out from like this much, because then my head shouldn't be exposed. And of course, if I'm coming out and I know there's a sniper there, then I can put this up. And you can obviously see, they can't see, but in the third person you can see that my arm does a pretty good job of blocking my head. Makes this shot that much harder.
And on that note, the other thing too is our players, if you need heals, it's your job to go to the med, not the med come to you. So just
Exactly.
be aware of that. So
Yeah,
it's just a philosophy. Just use that.
because as long as I hold this, if as long as I hold Uber here, and it's really hard for the pick classes to get me, it puts a huge strain on that team because even if they take down the sentry, we can Uber back into them because usually they're gonna have to use their Uber first if we keep our sentry up. So if we keep our sentry up and I have Uber, that puts them in a huge bind when pushing into us because then they have to waste a lot of resources trying to push into us because at any time I can pop my Uber and I can really slow them down picking our sentry gun.
And the game is to get them to pop first always
Exactly.
on just about every map. So if we can force their Uber and then we use second, huge advantage. So
So
that's always a good
even
philosophy
for
to try to do.
even for 4 players down, usually good teams will not push off that if they know we have Uber. If they know I still have Uber, I'm sitting here and our pyro's nearby that we can just push them away, and especially if our sentry gun is still up, because as long as we keep the teleporter up, everyone's gonna come back pretty quickly, and that one Uber push is gonna buy our team, the 4 team members enough time to get back here.
Yep, and having a level 3 telly is paramount. And that's why it's kind of nice if our pyro can run home wrecker, because if it gets zapped and our engine's down, then we have recourse to save it.
And once again, that's why I sit here, because then the pyro can sit more on the flank, and the spy usually comes from the flank, or he jumps up on playground. But either way, if the pyro is sitting around here, it's not that hard for him to peel to the engineer if the spy starts bullying the engineer. He can take out his homewrecker, bap, and then...
Yeah, and spies always do bully the engineer there.
So yeah,
That's always a common thing.
and that's nice because if I was not standing back there, I always risk myself from a sniper coming from around that area, people coming up over here and knocking me up like a soldier could
In this case, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, good soldiers could probably surf off this small little ramp here, and it would be really hard to do it, but they could, and then just splash me up, and then once I get knocked up, the sniper could probably get me to the tower there or back here, because now I'm up in the air, and all they have to do is land a body shot at me, because I'm never going to be overhealed.
Yeah, and it's not a bad thing for our sniper I'm sorry, our pyro to actually roam between where you are in that area and the gun. And that way he's kind of defending a lot of little puffs. And he can get free ammo too at the dispenser going between there and the gun and just watching for that spy. Also, he can air blast that spy off into off the cliff too if he hits it right.
Yeah, and if our flank needs help because their whole combo's starting to push flank, then he's obviously a pretty fast responder to that. Especially if he's using Scorch, I can just fire 2 shots, and if it's not working, can fall back. And anything just to help, the flank out, fight the other flank, Scorch shot can be a huge determining factor.
All right, I agree. It's all the pyro. If we lose, it's the pyro's fault.
No,
I'm
there's
joking.
usually a lot of, things.
I'm joking.
I
This is
know.
a team, so we're all together. We win or lose as a team, and that's it. Okay. Anything else, sir?
That's my 2 cents on first and what I like to do.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
All right. Thanks, Sam. We're
Yep.
concluded.